This is Middle Class Matt from don'tbuythehype.blogspot.com, and I am the sports genius. I don't usually blog about preseason games, but I will be following the Panthers all throughout the season. Plus, I'm doing Hard Knocks, which is about the Miami Dolphins, and the Carolina Panthers played the Miami Dolphins tonight. So it's kind of a, buy one get one free here because I'm doing, I get to do both at the same time. Talk about the Dolphins, which I'll be talking about, and talk about the Panthers, which I will be following all season. The Panthers are my team. I only have 3 teams that I really pull for. If you count University of North Carolina, that's, all the teams there. But then the Bobcats and the Panthers. Any other team, I am a casual observer. Now, I may be very interested to watch the Lakers or the Yankees or somebody like that play. But those are not my teams. I pull for the local teams. I don't understand people who say, I am an LA Laker fan. Or I am a New York Yankee fan. Where have you lived your whole life? North Carolina. That's not the, never lived in New York? Never lived in LA? Can't be a real fan. You can pull for a team, you can like a team, but your team has got to be somewhere you either went to school or is local. So, anyway, I watched the Panthers tonight, and I read on Facebook, someone said this might as well have been a JV team because they blew through them. Very impressive what they did. And they've been very impressive last game before that, too. I've been excited that the preseason's here, but these football games aren't great. So there's not a lot you can take away from these games. But you can see how well a team, the fundamentals out there, and how well they exhibit the fundamentals and how well they're playing. So I saw a lot of things that were interesting to me tonight, and things that stuck out. And I didn't see a lot of negatives about the Panthers. Cam looked awesome. He made a throw where he was running towards the sideline and just zipped it. I mean, just like a laser beam. There's probably 5 guys in the world that can make that throw. 5 guys in the world. I mean, just impressive how good he is. Now, I think that there's a possibility with the simple game plan he had last year, even though he didn't have much time to prepare, now more this year. The simple game plan last year, and then not knowing what he was going to do because they didn't exactly see what was coming. That teams are going to be more prepared, and he may have a sophomore slump. But Cam doesn't have to have 45 touchdowns for the Panthers to be good. And that offense looked great tonight. The way they run the ball, it was like jailbreak. They were just running and just taking big hunks out of the Miami Dolphins defense. And with the running backs the Panthers have, they're good. The 2 starters are great, and then they go pick up Tolbert. That is a great pickup. And I usually don't think the Panthers do enough in the offseason. They try to draft and, bring in certain people. Like, I really think they should go after Plexico Burress. Now, some people think he's a team killer. But I like him. And I think that would give them another big target. If they would bring someone in like that, they'd have probably the best offensive in the NFL. Or right there, top 3. It would be way on up there. If Cam has a season like he does last year, they're gonna be really good offense. Really good. That doesn't make the defense better, though. But that's another point. Anyway, but they look really good out there on offense. It's really impressive. The lanes they were creating, the way they were, but they're playing the Miami Dolphins. So I don't want to get too excited about that. On defense, they still have the same problems. And Ryan Tannehill, who's looked good all season and has been impressive, he's most notably known from Hard Knocks as having the really good-looking wife. But he looked impressive out there tonight. Now, is that the Panthers' defense is that bad, or is he really that good? Because this guy was a receiver his first 2 years, only played the last 2 years as a quarterback, and is already a starter. A guy like that you would think may take 2 or 3 years to develop. So are the Panthers that bad, or is he that good? That is the interesting question. But they did have some bright spots on defense. Johnson, they call him King Charles. Charles Johnson, he's a beast. I worried about him because I thought that he had such a great season right in his contract season. He might be one of those guys that gets the money and kind of gets lazy. He didn't even play a lot his first few years being behind Julius Peppers and others. He looked awesome. I mean, he's like one of those defensive ends as big as a defensive tackle, and he just bull rushes you. And then some of the picks they made, I really have been down on the Panthers for not taking a defensive tackle or a corner in the earlier rounds. But some of the other picks they made, even though I would have liked those positions to be filled, and I still think those are glaring holes for the Panthers, and so do the local radio guys. I listened to them last time I was in Charlotte. But Joe Adams, great pick. I knew that as soon as they picked him. SEC guy, got him way down the draft, I think in the 4th round. I think that, if I remember right. Looked great on returns. Now, the special teams, the blocking looked bad. But Frank Alexander got a sack. Now, against the second string, I'll give you that. But he looks pretty good, and I think that might be a steal from Oklahoma. That's big-time football. That's big boy football out there. I like to draft SEC guys. That's what I like my teams to do. Take the in football. I like to see SEC guys come to the Panthers. But, Oklahoma's big-time football. So, the Panthers look like they have, there's not a lot out there, just a few negatives. Special teams struggling, defensively allowing the ball to be thrown on them tonight. But offensively, they just look unstoppable. I mean, they just look like a steamroller. I think they're going to be able to average probably like 30 points a game this year. So, I picked the Panthers to be 8-8. It's going to be interesting to see if they do better than that. It might be 9-7. But we'll see, and I'll have my predictions out, and I'll talk about the Panthers more. So go Panthers. This is Middle Class Matt from Don't Buy the Hype. I'll check you next game.